Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to disassemble this head using that same method that I was using, basically a socket. I just got this in the mail. It's from another customer. It's got a bent valve through a rod. Crank's pretty trashed. Piston's got a crack all the way through it. But yeah, so I've got to give him an estimate on this, and I've got to tear it down anyway, so I figured I would at least do that for you guys so y'all could see how it come apart. I don't want to get this stuff mixed up, so I'm going to put this over here. Alright, now ideally you want a socket with like a magnet inside it around the inner wall, but it's not always going to be that easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump them out of there. I'm going to find another socket that there's one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rubber mallet, just a regular rubber mallet. We're going to put it right over the top of the valve, just the valve retainer, and we're going to pop it with a hammer, try to make the keepers jump out. You're not going to hit it hard, just enough to drop it. I'll tell you what, yeah, that's the bent valve, so that's the one I need to take off first. That valve's sunk down in there, so I got to hit it a little harder to make it jump out. There we go. Alright. When you're taking these apart, make sure your springs are in good shape. They're about breaking on these motors. We're going to do this, and this valve don't appear to be bent, so we're going to see. I'll tell you what, let me remove that valve that is bent, assuming I can get it out of there. Yeah, that one's definitely bent. So now the head will lay flat on my block there. I'm going to take this and set it. See, it's just like that. You just tap it, and you're not hurting anything. You're simply just hitting the spring and making the keepers jump out of place. Once you get it down pat, it's actually really easy. In other words, you'll be a pro at it by the time you make it around to the other side. I lost one of my keepers, but it's going to be down inside the head. I can see it down in there, so we'll get to it in a second. I'll do this one. This is a stainless steel table, so it sounds a lot worse than what it really is. I'm not really hitting it as hard as it sounds. Alright. Take the valves, set them aside. I assume the exhaust valves are going to be in good shape, but I don't want to make any assumptions at this point. Okay, got that one out of there. technically, using this method, you can change your valve seals without ever taking the head off your motor. However, I wouldn't do it, not unless I just had a valve seal that was giving me problems, one that just went bad, and I was in a rush and needed to just get it changed out. There. Because if it's down to that point, then you need to go in and redo the motor, rebuild it, or whatnot. Alright, let's shake my keeper. Or not. That little sucker probably bounced out and hit the floor. Or it's under here. There's no damn telling. Nevertheless, I got a bunch of them, so I'm not really worried about it. Now, scoot this stuff over out of the way. Get this block off of here. I'm going to inspect the valve guides. It looks like we're going to have one cracked valve guide. That's right. I don't know if y'all could see it. Just on that one that was bent real bad. No, that's not the one that was bent. It was this one. I'm going to hydroblast this, get it real clean so I can actually see it. But I'm pretty sure one of the valve guides is going to need to be replaced. If you go that far, you might want to replace them all then. Yep, let me set this aside. Now I'm gonna show you guys one of many ways to check your valves. If I find one that is iffy, that I think might be out of spec, then I'll use this dial indicator right here, put it on a truing stand just to check it, be sure. But the fastest way to check them is put them in a drill. Do not chuck it up with any pressure, just hand tight. Hold it steady. See this? I'm going to call that one straight. There's a lot of wobble in the head of these drills, slack or whatnot, so don't let it confuse you with it wobbling around. So try to just hold it straight towards the base of the valve stem, because it's going to be bent down here if it's bent. There's one. There's a lot of carbon on these. These OEM valves are like $100 a piece, so that looks good too. I think that one's got a little wobble in it. Trying to see. Yeah, it's got a couple of spots on there that seemed like it might have got smacked by the piston. So far we've got 2 that I believe are good. 1 is questionable. Yeah, exhaust, both of the exhaust valves are good. No, I shouldn't even have to chuck this one up. Sucker doing the valve dance. And don't try to straighten the damn thing, because it's good luck. It'll actually weaken it. This is the outer, of course we know that. And the other one, yeah, it looks like it got both of the outside intake valves, which I'm going to recommend changing all 3 of them. If you're going to do 2, you might as well do all 3 of them. Hell, just go ahead and do all 5. But the exhaust you can get away with.